Hi everybody, I'm Allie and we're adding a new addition to our little homestead here. I'm so excited about it, I can hardly stand it. We've always had Nubian dairy goats, ducks, chickens, turkeys, rabbits, and even quail from time to time. So after a lot of contemplating this and a lot of research, we're headed to Tremont in Utah to pick up our new addition. This week has been super hot with temperatures ranging from 108 to 112, and the 10-day forecast doesn't look like it's going to change at all. So I've got to get things really deeply watered before we leave for a couple of days. But our farm animals and our garden will be in good hands with our daughters. And luckily this morning Kevin realized that tread was coming off of our travel trailer's tires. So once we get that fixed, we're off on our way. We had a lot of needed rain this spring. With that rain brought lots of new grasses, and then hot temperatures dry those grasses, and that always brings on wildfires. While traveling north, we got held up for 2 hours on the freeway due to a fire. Nobody likes standing on the freeway with temperatures in the hundreds, but we did get a front row seat and got to watch the Chinook drop water from a nearby water source. We stopped at Utah Lake for our first night's stay and just chilled, and of course, I can't leave all the homestead behind. Second night is Tremont in Utah, where we pick up our new addition at 1:15 p.m. the next day.
So what are you doing?
Trying to learn a skill.
Oh, well, good. What's that in the background? Not the dog.
Your water bottle. Maybe you can water those plants that you insisted on getting. This is where I have to admit, I got overly excited and woke at 1 a.m. and I wanted to wake Kevin up and tell him only 12 more hours, but I controlled myself. Tremont is a farm town, wheat fields everywhere, and the wind was slightly blowing while we were there. Wheat swaying back and forth is the most beautiful sight. We drove around and checked out the land and the farm in the neighboring towns. It's a pretty place, great summers, but really cold winters. Then arrival time. I liked this place at first sight. The things I love: farm, small hometown nursery, flowers galore, and goats and more goats. Here they are, our new animal friends, Angora Goats. That may not seem so different, but it really is. Angora Goats are known for their lustrous fiber. They aren't good milk goats, good moms, but not quality milkers. I did research these creatures a lot before I finally decided to jump in head first. These Angoras are much smaller than our Nubians and so docile. Our Nubians would have their noses all over you, leaning on you, wanting to be pet and fed garden treats. There was one little doe that was very curious and friendly. She's just so darling. The two Angora goats that we'll be bringing home are both wethers. I have no desire to breed at this point, and this will be a good starting point. Wethers will produce nice fiber without the smell of a buck. So here's the thing. Like most things around here, it was only going to be one. One led to two. Good thing Kevin has a good mind to just smile and move on. After all, this is kind of his fault, but that's another story. Our new baby Angoras are 3 months old, a taupe and a black. Their mom is a beautiful gray. She was shorn at the time that we saw her. After the babes got loaded into the trailer, we got a nice tour of Cody's place, Mountain View Angora Goats, and some good lessons of what he uses to care, maintain, and shear with. I'll be taking a class up there in late September to learn more, but it's nice to have a little more information to know what to expect. This class will include some shearing, fiber dyeing, spinning, and that's really what started this obsession, the spinning. Something I've wanted to learn for over 30 years, and now it's time. Just another homestead skill. You're never too old to learn a new skill. He gave us a sneak peek of what we'll be learning in class that will be taught by him and his friend Laura that is traveling from out of town to teach. They have so much talent. The art yarns they spin are beautiful, using locks from these magnificent creatures. So you're not selling me this?
No.
All right, guys. We're home. 6-hour drive and we're home. Now that we're home, of course I was worried about the heat as we expected the hottest temperatures of the year so far at 114 degrees and all that hair. This is what's so unique about these goats. They tolerate the heat. They have been geniusly designed. Angoras have been around for thousands of years and originated in Turkey. I didn't really believe it at first, but after much research and actually seeing it for myself, their horns are like a cooling device for them. I check on them often. Their hair gets pretty warm feeling, but their bodies are actually cool to the touch. They're not panting or even acting uncomfortable. When researching Angora goats, and I did for years, not wanting to make a bad decision, I've read that raising them can be unethical and cruel, but I go back to the fact that sure, it can happen and absolutely shouldn't. But what I see, those who raise them care for them. These animals are friendly and jump up on the stands and love human interaction. And for many people, this is their livelihood. Why wouldn't you care for them? For me, our animals are an important part of homesteading, and I'm fortunate that God has allowed me this opportunity to care for them and use them as He intended.
Look at that face. Isn't it adorable?
Here's my learning curve with these little guys. Cody warned me that feeding alfalfa hay would get into their fiber and is very hard to get out, if at all. Well, guess what we have stored? A year's worth of alfalfa hay. So that's what these little guys are eating until we can acquire some grass hay. And they have some pretty messy faces right now. A special feeder is in works to help keep them clean, so lots to learn. But honestly, isn't that what homesteading is? Learning a new skill and passing them on to the next generation.